We want to look at Pangea and try to figure out what might have happened with Pangea and how we got there. So here we see the continents the way they are today, except for Antarctica, which we moved from like the South Pole up here so we can actually see it. On a globe, it would be at the bottom. We wouldn't be able to see it. So we've got Australia, Europe and Asia combined, Greenland, North America, South America, Antarctica, Africa, Arabia, and India. So right now we don't know how Pangea looks because we have no evidence. So we're going to click on some evidence here. We're going to look at rocks first. And once we put rocks on, we see some similar rocks in different continents. So we see South America and Africa having the orange, a little bit of purple. There's some purple up in Europe and some purple in North America. So we'll start with the one we've been looking at, South America. And I can drag these, and I can also tip them. So we're going to try to get these to fit as best we can here. That looks pretty good right there. So we'll leave that one there. Just going to move Antarctica out of the way a little bit. And we've got North America. I don't really know where to put it. I mean, there's purple matching up here. We could kind of match in the middle. We could kind of slide down here. That kind of looks like it fits right in there. So I'm just going to put it right there. And then it kind of looks like those two want to touch again. So that's kind of a nice spot. So right now that looks like we have a really good fit. But we've got lots of continents that have no markings on them, which doesn't tell us much at all, because without evidence, we don't know where they would have gone. So that's the best we can do with rock evidence. We're going to switch to glaciers. And now we got a different picture. So now we know that India, Australia, Antarctica, parts of Africa, parts of South America, and Madagascar had glacier evidence from in the past. So now we know that things got to get moved around a little bit. Antarctica has to come up here because it's part of the white area where the glaciers have been. So I'm going to kind of tip that. Maybe this goes in here. So we'll try that. And again, I don't know. I'm just going with my best estimates here. Madagascar looks like it might have fit maybe down in here. India's got to come down, so we'll grab that. There we go. Maybe we got to tip it a little bit. Maybe that kind of comes up here. And then Australia's got to come in. So I'm just taking my best guesses. I'm just trying to make a picture here that looks like a puzzle. So that kind of looks good. Kind of makes like a round area. Looks pretty obvious. Now the only thing is we have to go back and make sure that our rocks are still okay. Okay, so nothing changed there. Our rocks still look good. Okay, so we have one more. So we've done rocks, we've done glaciers. There's our glacier picture. And now we check out the last one, which is fossils. That doesn't look too good. Looks like things are lining up, sort of, with South America and Africa, and then these are kind of a jumble. So we're going to try to fix it up a little bit here. So I'm going to move Antarctica out of the way for 1 second just so I can get these guys cleared up. So South America looks pretty good. I just got to change the angle. And move that in a little bit. Whoops. So that looks really good right there. Now we got to see what's going on over here. So I'm just trying to be like a scientist and try to figure out what might have gone where. So we thought Madagascar was down here. It looks like it's actually further up here. That's looking like a good spot right about there. There's only two more pieces with brown and green. And this one ends in a brown, so it can't be that next one because then this one going in place. So I'm going to pop this one in here. Angles off a little bit. So just try to angle a little bit there. So I'm just trying to figure out how Pangea might have been, just based on some fossil evidence, some glacier evidence, and some rock evidence. Okay, so we got brown. I need another brown piece. So this looks like it's going to go in there. So I'm just going to rotate it first so we can kind of see how it's going to go up in there. Looks like it could be angled a little bit more yet. more. That's looking pretty good. Okay, and then, oh, looks like this green ends right here. Just gonna tip that so it lines up a little better. That looks like a straight line there. Okay, so according to the fossil evidence, it looks like these continents were together this way. The only problem is we gotta go back and see how everything else was. So rocks are still looking pretty good, and glaciers still looking pretty good. So we still have this round area of how the glaciers were on those continents. So this kind of looks like it's Pangea, as close as we can get it, based on the glacier, the fossil, and the rock evidence. And that's what we kind of worked on today. We're just trying to piece this together as a class based on what we saw. And this is kind of our Pangea idea, the supercontinent that had formed.